I'm okay. I just smoked another to the face, yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hip in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come with a dank, scrolling that tank, rolling with the gang. You sick and I'm on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
He drives now fast car. Welcome, Woodward Heavyweight, live on woodwardsport.com. Me, Spencer, Strong. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Woodward Heavyweights, live on woodwardsports.com. I am Spencer Raxter. He is Speak Easy. We got Chris Platty in the TD booth and JB Smooth on the 1 2. JB's music's a little loud, bro.
Yeah, this shit was so loud. Are you kidding me, JB?
Oh, he left.
Are you serious?
He left. Look at him. I caught him.
We got so many left.
I'm sick of the damn disrespect.
I'm still in the booth. What happened?
I don't know. Good thing your butt crack wasn't out or something. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, good luck I wasn't like falling down some stairs. God.
JB's got like a tramp stamp.
Grit. No, but we got a big show coming forward for you guys. First of all, are we able to play that video of?
I didn't ask. I don't think we can.
Okay, yeah.
We can talk about it though.
We can talk about Willie McGinnis, former Super Bowl champion.
Yeah. NFL Network employee.
Whooped some dude's ass.
Hey, that guy did something.
Something bad. The video has been circulating around Twitter, where him and some of his boys ran up on a dude while he was eating dinner.
Yeah,
and he was hitting him with a bottle. I saw somebody comment it and said they thought he was Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers made that terrible play for the New England Patriots. But yeah, what do you think that guy did?
I mean, I wanted to like do the homework on this to see like, does he have a daughter? Maybe something like that. Because there's multiple people. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be something warranted to go. It wasn't daylight. It was like a nightclub or something like that. But you obviously know there's cameras around. You obviously know that you hold a job title at like the NFL Network, that probably the most prestigious like sports company in America outside of like ESPN
and Woodward Sports.
You're right. You're absolutely right. To like do that, you have all that to lose. He already cashed out his bond. I seen those like $13,000 or $30,000. I could have misheard it, but
it's chump change.
I'm genuinely curious, like what happened. I really wish
guy
I
had
played
to
the
do
video.
something. He was hitting him with a bottle.
Yeah. And dude was still standing afterward too.
Still standing.
There was like 6-7 dudes, and they weren't like small dudes either.
Yeah, maybe he did. So he had to have done something, but you got to look that up. It was crazy after the show, and we couldn't get into this during the show yesterday because yesterday you saw us broadcasting live from the Wicked Awesome Wishes. Chad Johnson and Jeff Okuda presenting Hope for the Holidays. It was an awesome event. We got to speak to not only Chad Johnson, our fearless leader, but Jeff Okuda and Will Harris. Talked about a lot of different things with them. It was a very cool experience, and it was just a great atmosphere to be in. See, Chad and Jeff and other Lions players just giving back to the kids, giving back to the less fortunate. And it's always good when you're involved in something that's helping out the less fortunate. It always makes feel good, especially in the holiday season. Heavy's love the kids. So it was just a great time.
Remember in the group chat we were texting about Jeff? Like, do you have that same takeaway from it? Like the interaction with him, like just the intensity, like.
Yeah, dude's about his business, man.
Yeah,
he's about his action. He's about performing, and that I love that. I love to see that drive out of him. So it's awesome, very cool. Shout out again to Chad Johnson for putting on that event with Jeff Okuda and Wicked Awesome Wishes, letting us be a part of it. And shout out to Jeff Okuda and Will Harris for sharing their time with us and getting some words in.
Will was super cool.
Yeah, Will's a very cool guy. Both of them had very.
Everybody left him. He kicked back. He was chilling with the heavies. That was pretty dope.
Everybody left. It was just Will with the heavies. It was dope. But Chris,
yes.
First of all, show yourself.
I already did it.
Show yourself, you coward.
Show yourself.
Never lost.
Is Gunna a snitch?
Okay, so he might be a snitch. Let me break it down. So basically, the point that everybody's referring to is the fact that he got off, when in reality, I've looked, shout out Lawyers for Work. They're a great Instagram account that really dives into all the hip-hop cases. And so he was going through and breaking it down, and basically the reason why Gunna is now free is because essentially the charges that he had accumulated weren't worth the already year plus he spent in jail.
It's already been a year?
Yeah, it's already been, close to a year. So basically, it was kind of just the DA cutting losses, essentially, because realistically, it was just going to be time served at the point by the time he was done. So everybody's pointing out to this one incident where him and Young Thug were in a car, they got pulled over, and there was drugs, guns, all this stuff allegedly in the car. And Gunna said, "It's not mine." Now, he didn't say it's Young Thug's.
Yeah.
He didn't say it's Young Thug's. And there is a driver in that car, because neither of them were driving. All he said is quite literally, these are not mine. And he said that YSL is a gang. And that's the big thing for the Ricos. Rico is trying to basically say that YSL, Young Thug's label, is actually a gang, and they're doing all these criminal activities. So that's what people are calling him a snitch for. However, he's not really technically snitching. I mean, he's not helping Young Thug out. But also, what are you supposed to say in that scenario? Are you supposed to just be like, "Yeah, it's mine"? I don't get it.
Yeah, I feel like almost like borderline. This may sound bad to say, but I feel like snitching's almost become acceptable after the whole 6ix9ine thing. Yeah, because how does this dude come out and he still like has like somewhat? I guess I don't know what he was selling before. I don't know what the numbers were beforehand with him, but like
Crazy.
I never listened to him personally. But for him to still come out, drop an album, still be relevant. Like I know he's always like the Nelk Boys, like Steve will do it. It's like videos and stuff like that.
He's not relevant anymore.
I don't know, he's pretty. I mean, he's still out there like social media. Maybe not rap wise.
He was relevant when he first came back, but he has since completely fallen off, and he's done all sorts of things, disrespectful things, just to try and get clout, and it hasn't worked.
Who, 6ix9ine?
Yeah, 6ix9ine.
Yeah, that dude's a loser,
he's
man.
done. He's done, but it did technically work, and I think that just worked because he was just good at talking trash. Like, he was just entertaining.
Yeah, and his music sucks, so.
I've never liked it. It was literally just him screaming.
Yeah.
It's like if you were to wear a hot dog suit. That's how bad the music is. It's like if you were to choose to wear a hot dog suit.
That was it.
That's what. Mickey got an icky, what up, Ricky?
Ricky with the sticky.
Yeah,
exactly.
I couldn't listen to that.
You got rabies, right?
Yeah.
But,
that was wild.
That dude is awful, and I'm glad he's not clouded anymore. But we also got to talk about.
And I hate it when he said the N-words, and they just give him the pass. I don't know why that guy got the pass.
We got to talk about the Vikings.
Is Fat Joe to blame for that?
We kind of got into it a little bit yesterday.
Maybe.
But Matt Ryan has now been usurped.
Oh, man.
By
it's a weird word to use for what's coming up.
Nick Foles.
Yes.
And Nick Foles will start for the Colts next week. And it might be because a Vikings player, check the oil of Matt Ryan. You got the picture, Chris?
Oh, my God, yeah. I don't know if this is TV.
He's in there. He is in there. That is full.
Get in there.
Yeah. Get in there.
Yeah.
All right, big girl. Back it up.
I mean, I got goosed. I don't like that.
He got goosed. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You hate to see it, but, you got to do what you got to do. He's trying to get to the sack. Only got to the butt, so he couldn't get the sack. But, it is.
Hey, yo! We want you to get in there, and we want you to hit the hole as hard as you can.
Hit the hole, plug it up, make sure nothing crazy happens, and try to get that sack. And he's trying to get the sack.
Not to be insensitive, but maybe
stuck in the hole.
He's victimized a little bit and doesn't have the confidence to go back out there on that field.
A little emasculated.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go do this again.
I'm glad that didn't happen to any Lions players. Lions players are the one that filled holes. They don't got to worry about
Well, hey, the Lions' offensive line is way too nice for that situation to even come close to happening.
Facts.
Top 3, and by the way,
top tree.
Ben Johnson. We'll get to it later on the show, but before the press conference even started, before a question was even asked, gave praise and credit to a certain.
How about that offensive line, huh?
Yep, literally.
Dude was cheese ear to ear because he knows the deal. He knows what's good. And yeah, it's
advanced analytics and shove them up your.
Let's talk about some
Matt
Detroit
Ryan
sports now. Some Detroit sports. Khalif Raymond was named NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. You love to see that. He had the first touchdown of the game for the Lions, one of their only 2 touchdowns of the game in their victory over the Jets, where he took, I believe it was a 47-yard punt return touchdown. And he made some plays throughout the game as well. And do you remember at the beginning of the year, we were like, who's going to return punts? Who's going to be the guy taking kickoffs? It wasn't so much punts as it was kickoffs.
We just didn't know that if he was going to make the team, the whole receiver situation, because there's so many of them in the locker room. But he's actually having a phenomenal year as a receiver.
Having a great year.
The last game, I think he was like the most productive season for the receiver for the team.
Yeah,
Against the Jets.
Yeah, outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very impressive to see him go out there and do that. And shout out to Khalif. He gets little attention. He did get the game ball. You saw that. He said, "We some dogs" in his speech when he's talking about the Lions. You love to see that. There's a lot going on. And obviously we're going to get into more of that. We have to talk about, as you saw in our thumbnail, Troy Reaper was re-upped on his contract. I'm not sure exactly what the specifics were about that, but he was re-signed by the Detroit Pistons, so he'll be there for a little while longer. Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren showed out last night in a loss, but they showed out, and they look damn good doing it. And then JB has to rain on the parade, this Lions hype parade. JB's got something he wants to say. We're going to get into that later, but why don't you give the people a little taste?
Well, I think my camera's off right now.
Yeah.
But
Camera's off.
But still,
Spike Lee?
God, are you hating on the Lions right now?
I'm not hating on the
Spike Lee?
Lions.
Spike Lee, is that you? Are you narrating this show?
I'm not hating on the Lions. I'm just saying there's some room for improvement.
What about the Knicks?
Can't beat the Knicks.
Man, I don't know. I hope I'm not sick, because I'll feel awful. We were there yesterday, obviously dapping up Will Harris, Jeff Okuda. And I know Jeff won't get sick because he's got back from being sick, but we can't afford Will to get sick because Deshaun Elliott out for this week. We spoke about it a little bit yesterday.
He's already out on this week. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about, like you said, Ben Johnson, his comments with the offensive line, but he's not very happy with the run game in his offense.
Correct.
It hasn't been looking great over the past couple weeks, but we'll see if they can bounce back from that. We'll see if they can try to springboard that run game to what it was at the beginning of the year when they were cutting up on teams and making some big chunk plays. But we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, a lot of Lions as we preview their matchup with Carolina and see if some of the Lions fans are kind of overlooking the Carolina Panthers. And what do you believe that matchup will be? Do you believe the Lions will struggle in that matchup with the Carolina Panthers? I don't know. Don't do that. That was a weird face. That was scary.
How you like when someone's...
I didn't
when
like
you're trying to drive a show and someone's over here doing all kinds of wild stuff.
But no, we got a lot to talk about. Definitely a lot of Lions, and we're going to get into all of that and more. But first, let me tell you about Big Boy, because comfort foods are back at Big Boy. Try the classic meatloaf or Cajun chicken Alfredo. What about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. They got the lumberjack, the Santa Fe Garden, or the Blockbuster. You throw some ketchup, some hot sauce on those boys. Fire. So stop by your local Big Boy today and satisfy those taste buds.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hello, everyone. If you want to get cooked like a hot dog, come to Chili Peppers Tanning, where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Spotless, sanitized rooms with trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals where they beat all competitors by $5.
$7?
No, $5, fool. $7 would be a lot, but $5 is also still a lot. You can get yourself a hot dog with that. Don't forget to pick up Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations, and more on the way.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I am Spencer Raxter. He is Speak Easy. We got Chris the Wiener Platty in the TD booth and JB Smooth on the ones and twos. All right, we just got done introing the show, talking about what we're going to talk about. Let's get right into it.
Talking about what we're going to talk about.
That's what we did. That's what we did. We're talking about what we're about to talk about. And what we're about to talk about first, is Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren. Obviously, last night, the Pistons fell to the Jazz because Lowry Bird Markkanen went out there and knocked down 9 3-pointers at 38 points, put on a great performance. But the Pistons rookies showed out. Jaden Ivey, 30 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 5 steals, and shot 71% from the field. And not only that, but Jalen Duren went for 15 and 14. Jalen Duren out there playing like a dog. Easy. What does it mean when you see these Pistons rookies performing like that? Or how excited are you for their future?
When you said out there playing like a dog, I was picturing like playing fetch. Like Airbud. No, man. I'm not surprised with the Jaden Ivey situation, especially. I've never doubted his talent. I never doubted like what he could do on the court. My whole argument with all that stuff was the fit. So, no, that ass dog. I've told you this since Studio B. I think he'd be better on his own team. But now that he has the extra time, now he's like the main ball handler in these situations. We're seeing this emerge, and I don't doubt that he can do these things. He's going to continue to do these things. One thing that you and I both noticed earlier while watching the highlights, because I actually missed the game live, was that I feel like he's a little bit more comfortable with his teammates now. You saw he's like make a little bit of flashy passes, but now like the guys are catching him. Now he's making smarter passes. Yeah. Jalen Duren making some passes himself too. Mm-hmm. It's more like a team-friendly ball. I don't know where like the Utah Jazz fall line like within the West now that the season's like off to a good start. At first, they're like number 1. Yeah. Everyone was like super confused. Jeff Ivey said that Lowry Markkanen was looking like Lowry Bird out there. Dropped 39. The Pistons dropped 9 3-pointers. But I know this that Jaden Ivey's capable of this. I knew that this could be coming possibly this year. I'm not surprised on like how early it is. Again, that's just like
they're still 8th in the West.
Can it fit? That's crazy. They fell to 8th. But anyway, my question is, can this fit alongside Cade Cunningham in a winning scenario?
Yeah, it's kind of what you said, but a little meaner. No, you love to see it. You love to see the guy shooting from that efficiently, scoring that efficiently. He did have 5 turnovers, but he was out there running point. He was out there making plays. Like you said, we saw some great passes out of him. Able to get into the lane and kick it out to his shooters. Able to get in the lane and make things happen. Leading the break, making things happen in the fast break. And you look at Jalen Duren. I'm in love with Jalen Duren. Like, I'm buying a teal Jalen Duren jersey because this guy is something else, man. He is a grown man in a young man's body. He gets out there and he just dookies on anybody that they put in front of him. He dunks on people. He's getting rebounds. He's getting putbacks. He's protecting the rim. He didn't have any blocks last night, but he's still a force in there. And that was something the Lions – talking too much Lions. It's the first time we talked Pistons in a minute. That is something the Pistons were missing last year, was when an opposing guard gets into the lane, there was no fear. There was nobody to be scared of. There was no person to alter their shot or even to think about. When we got Stewart a little bit, but he's still not somebody you're like, oh, he's going to block my shot. With Jalen Duren in there, you got to know where he is because he will swat your shit into the 5th row if you take it lightly. It is very impressive that this man has adapted this fast, and since he's been a starter, he's averaging like 13.8 rebounds per game. Like, the guy is a freak of nature. He's already one of the best rebounders in the league. He is a force on, obviously, second chance possessions, second chance buckets. But even if you get it into him, he is so explosive and so dynamic that you cannot like these older, bigger centers, slower guys cannot handle him because he's so explosive and so impactful when he gets the ball in the paint. I'm gushing over this guy. I love Jalen Duren, man. He's a freak of nature, and you saw what you love to see out of Jaden Ivey, pushing the pace, being efficient, running the floor, and that is another thing with the athleticism between those two, man. You could climb a mountain. You could jump over a mountain if you take the athleticism of Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren and put it into one. Like, these guys are such freaks of nature, respectively, for their positions. It's so awesome because that is another thing the Pistons were missing last year. As much as we love Cade Cunningham and we love Saddiq Bey, they're not the most athletic like freaks. They're more chill, do things on their own pace, kind of lull you to sleep and then attack. Cade could throw one down with the best of them, but the explosiveness and athleticism you get out of these two is game-changing.
That fast twitch.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a MMA reference the other day, but like in MMA, there's again those guys is death by 1,000 cuts. You have the more precise, the Cade Cunninghams. The guys are more cerebral with it, more like technically offensively skilled. And then you have the explosive types like Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren actually is like pretty skilled too. And I'm not gonna knock Ivey's skill as well, but the fast twitch type, the dudes that can leap out of the gym, dudes that like make those crazy steals and they're just gone. You're not even catching them. You shouldn't even try. It's a dunk at the other end. Chris, I know you missed the game, but I know you watched the tape on it. You said, thank you for covering your hair, by the way.
Yeah. I did this just for you.
Thanks,
this just for you. Listen, you guys nailed it all.
Glizzy.
The athleticism
hair on their glizzy
is the key, and that's what Jaden Ivey in particular showed why he is the perfect running mate for Cade Cunningham. Everything that he did in that game when he was able to add just such a drastic change to tempo, to pace, just obviously the athleticism, so counter to everything that Cade brings to the table, which is why I've always said that they are the perfect pair.
I don't agree.
Yes, that there's one ball, but ultimately those are two drastically different style players.
So
that's why they blend.
How does that fit though with another guy on the court if his pace is better, like paced out? You know what I'm saying?
Well, look at Darius Garland. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. That pairing, the reason why that works, because Darius Garland is totally comfortable getting 18 and 10. And Cade is also very comfortable with that. Everybody wants to think that Cade is going to be this 27-point per game scorer, and he can be. He absolutely can be. But I think Cade is a guy, 18 and 10. I think that's what he wants to do with the win. And then you have Donovan Mitchell, who's the guy who's leading the charge of the team, who's the leading scorer, the leading shot maker on that team. That is the kind of pairing that Cade and Ivey bring. And what's different and interesting about them as opposed to Garland and Mitchell is that, again, it's kind of similar, but it's even drastically different with Cade and Ivey, because Cade and Ivey, the difference in athleticism and play style is so different than the differences of play style between Garland and Mitchell.
I feel like Garland's still fairly athletic.
Him even more.
I mean, so is Cade.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who do you athletically?
Yeah, I'd say they're pretty even.
I'd say Garland's a bit more ahead of him, and I think Cade's like head and shoulders over Darius Garland, by the way. But if you were like pick out Darius Garland's like best skill, would you say
passing the ball?
Yeah,
I'd say
particularly running the show.
Yeah,
like not just even passing per se, but just controlling the tempo of the game.
Would you say that Darius Garland's a better shooter than both Cade and Ivey? And obviously Ivey at this point, we've yet to see like what he's going to be as a shooter at the NBA level. But would you say that Garland's like
same with
the
Cade.
Better shooter?
I mean, we really haven't seen.
Well, Garland
seen 1 year of Cade, and when he got back from his injury, he was. Stroke that thing, cuzzo. Like, he was looking pretty good from long range. So.
Not at the rate of a Darius Garland. Darius Garland came to the league shooting 35% off a rip. Like, that was, like, my beef with it a little bit. Like, if you're going to have a situation like that with two guys that are guards, like, let one of them at least be an elite shooter. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Ben Mass stuff, I mean, Ben's looking pretty damn good from three, right? Klay Thompson. Steph, obviously, a little bit of anomaly there, but, like,
Klay Thompson
you have
Steph Curry
your shooter.
Two of the top 5 three-point shooters
for sure.
in the history.
But I'm just saying, like, your guard pairings, you need, one's called literally a shooting guard.
Yeah.
Right? That's in my opinion, and my philosophy, I guess, of like winning basketball, and again, just going based off championships and stuff like that, you need one of those guys to shoot the shit out the ball. Yeah. Shoot the blood out of it, as Spinney would say. Jaylen Brown's that somewhat for the Celtics. Like, that was my beef with it. And I don't think the pacing thing, too. Like, I don't know I don't know if we're gonna see that as much of a fit either, because I don't see how you could say it's a perfect fit because one guy goes really fast and one guy goes really slow. Well, no, one guy. I'm not saying goes really slow. I'll go with the word like pace. Yeah. One guy paces himself. And I feel like you play the game at that pace, not like one guy runs super fast and this guy's just like chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't know. But I'm not mad at it. Again, Ivey's really good, and we'll see. We'll find out.
Because now it's just another thing you have to game plan for. It's another thing. It's another layer, because ultimately a lot of times in the playoffs, you're going to stagger their minutes. And so, yes, they're going to spend a lot of time together, but they're also going to spend other.
So if you're staggering their minutes, then it's not so much the fit. It's just one's off the floor, one's on the floor. Right? Is that what you mean by stagger? Like, Cade chills, Ivey takes over.
But that's two different. Fit. That's two different styles that you have to be able.
That's taking one of your best playmakers off the court in order for the other to thrive.
That's just
guys need breaks in that.
I'm not saying that
for sure, but that's just not how it works. Like,
that's how it's working in Boston right now.
It's not how it's working in Boston.
It is.
How?
Yes. They're staggering their minutes a lot. When Jaylen Brown is off the court, Jason Tatum's going to be on the court. When Jason Tatum's off the court, Jaylen Brown's going to be on the court. That's how they've been playing this all year, and that's how they have one of the best records in the NBA so far this year.
No, they have one of the best records in the NBA so far this year because they can shoot the shot.
How many Boston games have you watched?
The guys they
that
stagger.
Is literally how they're playing this year. Is they're staggering their minutes a lot. Obviously, they start together and they play together.
The guy they stagger,
but they're doing it differently. When they pull one of them off the court, they leave the other one on there so they can run the offense and be that guy and be that alpha and be that dog still on the court, and then they switch them. That's what they've been doing all year. That's how it has been different. Because people that had that same argument for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown for their first 5 years of their career was these guys aren't a fit. They can't do it together. And you got to break it up. That was the big thing in Boston. And
I don't think that was ever a big thing in Boston, though, because they competed for an Eastern Conference championship since these guys were, like, I think Jason was in his rookie year. The year he had that hammer over LeBron.
They had 3 years where they were 500. They had a 3-season record of 500.
Yeah, when Kyrie was there.
No, this was after Kyrie. This was after Kyrie. This was right after Kyrie left.
I don't know.
The bubble year, the year after, they were 500, and then all of a sudden it flipped in that January last season. So Boston, you don't remember a year ago this time, everybody was saying trade Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum can't play together. Mm-hmm. You can't rush these things, and at the end of the day, you need more than one guy, because at the end of the day, a Harden, a Luka, everybody wants Cade to be Luka. Luka is a fantastic player. I'm not taking anything away from him, but you have never seen a player like Luka win a championship. You've never seen a player like Harden, a heliocentric, this is all about me, win a championship. You need another guy who can have the ball in his hands. So yes, ideally you want people to be able to play off ball, but Trae Young, Atlanta, never going anywhere. Never going anywhere. It's the same thing. You need another guy. They went and got DeJounte Murray for that reason.
If you have another guy, that guy needs to be able to shoot the ball. Is the thing. Well, I mean, we'll see. Again, I never doubted what Ivey's talent was. Now, I've always thought he could be that. But it's just like, can he shoot the ball consistently enough to play alongside of Cade Cunningham? But we'll see. Again, the staggering stuff that happens naturally, but like in a situation where like a Cade Cunningham, I feel like has the better control of an offense. I'd rather him be like on the floor in those situations. But hey, I could be totally wrong, and I've already put it out there.
As good as he is at running the offense, he still has to take a break.
For sure.
And that helps when you have a guy like Jaden Ivey who can slide in there and run that offense.
You guys say that, but we've yet to see it.
I'm sorry, Cade Cunningham's injured and out for the season.
I'm not even talking about Cade Cunningham specifically. I'm talking about the player types, even like together. Like you say, oh, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. People love to say that all the time. Give me an example. LeBron D-Wade are only one. You're then asking Cade Cunningham to be LeBron frickin' James, who's one of the best players of all time, in the same scenario with Ivey and D-Wade. It's just the archetypes. You can't find it. We'll find out though. I mean, hey, it is what it is, and I'm here rooting for it. And I already put it on wax. If these guys go to the NBA Finals, eyebrows off, beard off. This is actually a fake beard. It's like a Mr. Potato one. I just pop it off right now. Guys, you see all these toys behind us? Got the Baby Yoda behind me. There's He-Man over here. As you guys can see, we're doing the stuff for studio, year 3 of it, and it's one of my favorite things to do here at Woodward Sports, because from now up until the 23rd, we are stuffing our studio from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Come on by. Drop off some unwrapped presents. We'll give them to the children of Children's Mott's Hospital in Ann Arbor. All the way up to from December 23rd. I'm sorry, guys. My throat's lost right now. Come through, bring a toy, and that's when he says bring some food. Just Woodward Heavyweights. We'll be right back.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward and Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Swiss Insurance Group and their employees are heavily involved in their community. It's very rewarding, but it comes with great responsibility like Spider-Man powers. If you sit on a local youth sports board, homeowner association, or volunteer as a head coach, directors and officers insurance is a must. Make sure the kids, parents, and volunteers are all protected, and call Swiss Insurance today.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I am Spencer Raxter. He is Speak Easy. We got Chris the Wiener Platty in the TD booth, and JB Smooth plays Christmas music too loud on the ones and twos. I appreciate you all for joining us. We just got done going over Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren and their fits and different things like that, and I kind of want to keep that conversation going.
Yeah, that was a good combo.
It was a good combo, and I understand that is your whole argument is the fit. The fit isn't there. The fit isn't there. We don't know if they could shoot. We don't know what they're doing, but it does take, I believe, more than half a season to judge what type of player he'll be in the NBA and what type of shooter he'll be.
And by the way, I've already been proven somewhat wrong on the Jaden Ivey shooting
he started
standpoint.
Off hot.
Yeah, and he went on a little slump there, but still he's shown that he can do it, right? And that's all that really matters. Because sometimes some guys do go on slumps. I'm not necessarily going to attribute that to him being inconsistent right away, because as you said, we're only not even halfway through the season at this point, and he showed me that he can shoot consistently. I mean, last night 71%.
I also think it's good to have, I think Cade is a better shooter than what he showed in his first year.
I believe so, too.
You see that when he came on in his second.
He was the most double-teamed guy.
In the second half, he's being double-teamed, and that helps now that you have a guy who can kind of take some pressure off of him on the opposite side. You have a guy that can break down a defense on his own, create on his own, and that helps kind of ease the double teams away from Cade Cunningham, so that's a good thing. And another thing is building a lineup around those guys. That's why you have a Sadiq Bey, who you hope is just in kind of a junior slump or whatever, because he's not a sophomore, so a junior year slump.
Yeah, that's getting kind of weird now, huh?
Yeah, it is a little bit
sketchy.
You get a Bogdanovich, who is a cold-blooded shooter. You get an Alec Burks, who is a cold-blooded shooter. Isaiah Stewart has shown that he has extended his game, and he's been able to knock down threes when he's been on the outside. So I think building a core around those guys is what you have to do. You can't just be, we need this now, and not accept him for what he is and the great things that he brings to the game, rather than just focusing on, he can't shoot the ball as well as Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
It was not so much not accepting him for what he is. I told you already, and from Studio B, I've always said this. Jaden Ivey can be a phenomenal player at the NBA level. He's super explosive, extremely athletic. I think he has great vision at times too. That was one thing that you could say could be worked on. But at the same time, I never feel like he had that true availability to do that at Purdue, after the fact. Again, it just comes down to the fit. It really. I never, the things you said right there, I've never said he wasn't going to be capable of doing any of that stuff like that. And just now, too. I could easily, if I wanted to be Petty, I'd be look at the slump he went on there for a minute. But I didn't, because it's his first year.
It's his rookie
We're not
season.
even halfway through it.
Yeah.
And he's already kind of showed me already, he could shooting better than I expected off rip. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what I think. I could be dead ass wrong, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. We gonna see, as Drizzy Drake would say.
I just think that the team needed so much. Obviously, shooters were a big part of it. Peak presence were a big part of it. But they also they lacked explosion. They lacked ball handling. They lacked players with the ability to create their own shot, to create their own offense, and I think they got a lot of that in Jaden Ivey. They got a guy who is happy to be here. They got a guy who is one of the most explosive players in the league, one of the fastest players in the league, and you look at his ability to break down a defense and go at his guy one-on-one or in transition and create his own offense. That is a thing that will help Cade Cunningham when he comes back. That will take some pressure off of Cade Cunningham and allow him to be what we expect him to be, allow him to be that guy that goes out there and is that maestro and can do it all and is that 6-7 point guard that he can turn it on when he wants to, he can shoot the lights out when he wants to, or he can run the offense when he wants to. So I'm not worried about the fit as much. I just think these guys will work well together. I had back when I did the morning show with Adam a while back, I said I don't think there is a wrong fit with Cade Cunningham because he can fill so many different roles on a team and do so many different things that it's not something that you need to get, we need this perfect guy next to him because it makes up for the lack of whatever in his game. I think as much as Cade can do, you can put so many people around him and he can still thrive.
Yeah, it's not I don't want any one person around Cade to make up for any lack of what Cade Cunningham can't do. Because as I've said on this program before, I believe Cade Cunningham is him. He is Timothy Turner. He's stomping around in his Timberlands. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe in Cade Cunningham to the fullest. I just feel like to maximize what he can do, I want shooters around him. And just in the Eastern Conference alone, you look at the pathway through the Eastern Conference. It's going to be this way for a while too. I know KD may be out of the league soon because he's getting a little bit older. He's had some injuries now too. But you look at the Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah. I mean, we always discussed this before too, the wings, when you rings conversation. Just give me a longer body. I'm not asking anybody to shut down Giannis Antetokounmpo because I know that's an impossible task. But slow him down. Give me extra bodies to throw at him. But the Pistons still have the opportunity to do that.
They do have the opportunity to do that, and they have that in a guy in Isaiah Stewart who you can put on a Giannis Antetokounmpo when you have a Jalen Duren in the paint.
Yes.
Jalen Duren's ability to guard multiple guys, and that was the biggest thing. I knew he was explosive. I knew he was his rim protector, but when he's on a switch, how he can stay in front of guards and move his feet and stay in front of people is extremely impressive. So when I look at this, starting five, if everyone's healthy, perfect world, it would be Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Bojan Bogdanovic, Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren. And you're looking at that right there. You give Cade the ball at the top of the key. He's got Isaiah Stewart, Jaden Ivey, and Bojan Bogdanovic spacing the floor, running a pick and roll with Jalen Duren. And you can kick, if he gets double teamed off of one of those, Stewart's been knocking the shots down. That is the person they'll double team off of is Isaiah Stewart, but he's been knocking shots down. Obviously, Bojan Bogdanovic is cold-blooded from outside the line. And then you have Jaden Ivey, who can hit open shots, as well as if he gets double-teamed off of and you kick him the ball, or if he's in a one-on-one situation and Cade gets doubled and they kicked him the ball, he'll make something happen. So it's not necessarily just about can he knock down the shot or can he make these threes. It's about can he make something happen in that one-on-one situation if Cade Cunningham gets double-teamed. And I have the utmost faith that Jaden Ivey will he'll make more shots than he'll miss in a situation like that where all eyes are on Cade Cunningham and people are rotating, but he'll make the right decision when he gets the ball in his hands, whether that is to shoot the three, go to the rim, or continue passing it and find the open option.
And that's where Ivey could shut me the hell up. And or a guy who just got extended today, well, not today, actually happened in summer technically, but Troy Weaver, where he could find that guy can knock down the shot consistently enough where Cade can then have that decision. Do I just take this myself, or do I trust my teammate with it to knock it down deep, or from wherever he's from? Because that's, again, he'll have every opportunity to shut me up about it. But until then, I mean, it's still a conversation that can just throw out there.
You can just keep making it. I mean, I understand that, but it's hard to make that argument when we're not seeing it on the court.
So just to keep it's not hard to make the argument
when we haven't seen it because they haven't played together more than 10 games.
You got it's not hard to make because I could also point to the fact that there's been pairings like it and it's just never happened.
Who?
It's never shaked out that way.
What pairings are like that?
It's a guard where one can't shoot. I mean, Russell Westbrook, his entire career has been like a situation like that. And even like the situation too, we were talking about guys who can just go one-on-one and just score, get you a bucket, like whenever you need them to. That doesn't necessarily work too, because of the situation in Washington with Russ and even before Russ, John Wall paired with my man Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
All those dudes could ball. Look at Damian Lillard, who I think is amazing, fantastic basketball player, paired with C.J. McCollum. Now, we did have an argument that I conceded to Chris too, that C.J. McCollum maybe isn't the number 2 on a championship team, but dude can still ball, and you still seen those situations. Like, it's not always. Like it's nice and it can get you to the playoffs, but as a fan, this does not, I guess, a parallel exactly. But the Jared Goff situation, my goal as a fan of these sports teams, like what I want to see these franchises do is win championships at the end of the day. And I just feel like a wing is more of a championship formula than a 2-guard combo, if that makes sense. And I get the 2-guard combos worked in the past. But I mean, it's the Detroit situation.
I mean,
is
you
a little
have
bit different.
to have 2 guards. Though. I mean, you don't have to.
In Detroit specifically,
to pretty much play basketball. Obviously, there are 2 guard spots for a reason. So there's more. You know, the building of this roster isn't complete, and that's what it is for me. Is that you can add more to this roster. So just being like it'll never work with these 2, even though there is a lot more additions that need to be made to this roster. Even when Jaden Ivey, in the highest, best fans perspective at the beginning of this season, it was 25 wins. Like I don't see that because this roster is not complete, and you can add more to it. So I don't think taking Jaden Ivey as an end all be all. That's done. This is our roster we're going with forever. No, it's still going to be adapted and built to. And do they need depth in the wing position? Yes. Can they add that in these drafts coming up? Yes. They're not going to take another guard. Hopefully not. I mean, we'll see if they get number 2.
I mean, you and Chris will take Scoop.
Yeah, I mean, if you're there.
If you have to.
Yeah.
If you have to.
But then at that point, someone wants to go, but you guys aren't ready for that conversation, clearly, because we tried to have it the other day. But
Killian Hayes can go.
Yeah.
And I agreed to everything you just said. I mean, immediately after that, the draft situation happened. On my personal channel, I haven't posted on in forever, ever. I went out and I did one of those I was wrong videos. You know what I'm saying? And then
posted on his channel, you see?
Because that's the reality situation. They aren't done building. And that's why, as I just said, like it is what it is. I'm going to say what I've said. It's obviously how I feel. Yeah. It's up to them to prove me wrong. And like I said, it's either up to Jaden Ivey himself or Troy Weaver.
You're just so adamant on it that you'll never win a championship with Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. It's like you can do that. You can put pieces around them to help that.
Hey, like I said, it's up to them to prove me wrong. I've said that. I said the same thing you just said.
Yeah, again, but this team, adding Ben Mathurin to this team and Jaden Ivey, they'd be in the exact same position.
I feel like
they'd
obviously
be in the exact same position.
Obviously, Cade Cunningham isn't healthy right now, but if Cade Cunningham were healthy, I feel like that pairing it definitely wins you more basketball games. Yes.
You think this would have been a 35 win team if you got Ben Mathurin over Jaden Ivey and everything?
Yeah. Yes,
that's crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
How is that crazy? That's the win total you guys had them at this year.
No, it's crazy because right now they're on pace for 18 wins. So you're saying Ben Mathurin doubles your wins.
Yeah, I think it's a better fit. And obviously right now to say what they're on pace on is a little bit different, Chris, because Cade Cunningham's injured and not been playing. So
I mean, that's fair. I mean, their pace actually picked up once Cade is injury.
Well, exactly. Well, Ivey's got a little more pace than Cade. We're going to break. I heard some music.
Yeah, for sure. We got to go to break. And if you want to get big,
open the phone lines, we come back.
Maybe you can go to the wing and run that position as well. You can go to Planet Fitness to get big and get a little bit more athletic. And Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. It has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for just $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
At Alta.
Uptime.
Matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You got a big project coming up? Alta has you covered. Make sure you give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Again, that's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Alta Equipment. Where?
Uptime.
Dude, I'm out of it.
Yeah.
This is why Spree's driving the show today. My voice is bothering me.
Welcome back, everybody. We are live on WoodwardSports.com with another episode of the Woodward Heavyweights. I am Spencer Raxter. He is Crippled Eazy. We got Wiener Suit Chris in the TD booth and JB Smooth on the ones and twos. We just got done breaking down the fits of Jaden Ivey and Kate Cunningham and what we think will happen. And the man who put all of that together, the man who thought that was a good fit, the man who thought Jaden Ivey was a piece that needed to be added to this team, just got an extension. Troy Weaver has been inked to multiple more years with the Pistons. I'm not sure if the exact specifics are out yet about the deal, but Shams put it out there that Troy Weaver has been extended by the Detroit Pistons. And you look at what this guy has done, getting pieces like Killian Hayes, Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey, Kate Cunningham, Livers, Ivey, Duren, making the trade for Bogdanovich, trying to build this roster and having to tear it down from what it was with Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose, and trying to issue this new era of Detroit basketball to the streets. It's awesome. I'm happy the guy got extended. He knows a hell of a lot more about basketball than me, Easy, or anybody in the chat, that's for damn sure. And I'm happy for him to be out there. I'm happy for him to be making the decisions to be the head of this team and the head of this rebuild. Easy, how do you feel about Troy Weaver getting that extension?
Yeah, I hope he's still here in the comment section, because I would love to open up the phone lines to have this conversation. But it might be our guy Jeffrey Hall that was with us at the event yesterday saying what up though, because he was dropping off the phone to Maz. Shout out to Jeff Hall. But how could you not be excited about this?
Mm-hmm. Well,
like, to me, what up?
I mean, there is a way to not be excited about it. I disagree with it, but let me just put it out there. It's the narrative that they haven't won. Their records since Troy Weaver has been GM: 20 wins, 23 wins, and on pace this year for 18. So that would be the one thing, is that, he got an extension before this team even got anywhere. All he's done is draft players and make trades. And I think it's a weak argument, but if you do want to make an argument, that's the argument to make.
All he's done is draft players and make trades.
Yeah.
Kind of like what a guy has to do when he's tearing a team down to the studs and then forcing a rebuild.
Especially a team that was in such dire needs of Detroit. It's crazy too, because guys, that's the only championship team that I've seen as a Detroit sports fan win a championship in my lifetime outside of the Red Wings. And at that time, I didn't really pay attention to hockey. My grandparents did, my aunts did, everybody else in my family did other than myself.
Blasphemy.
So I have like love for the Detroit Pistons, rooted in me deeper than almost even the Lions. And as much as I love the Detroit Lions and I love football more as a sport, they don't win. You know what I'm saying? But I've got to experience that through the Detroit Pistons. I got to experience, I can't call it a dynasty, right? Only one championship out of it, but success. You know what I'm saying? So I want that more than anything, and Troy Weaver, I believe, is the guy to bring something to that, because it came to a certain point with the owner now, Tom Gores. Mm-hmm. He was kind of just happy with making the playoffs and getting extra money off of playoff tickets. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like everyone in the organization was kind of with that too. The Blake Griffin stuff, I was beyond irritated with it. Yeah. I'm not gonna I get at one point in his career when he was healthy, Blake Griffin was a very good basketball player. In Detroit, he wasn't that version of it. I mean, he was for a bit there.
He had a couple good years.
At the end of the day, those knees, they ain't holding up.
Yeah.
They holding up enough to be a franchise player to win championships with as the guy. Mm-hmm. I don't want to disrespect Blake too much, but it was dead, dude. It was dead. And he got rid of the contracts. He had to do what he had to do. He had to overcome that alone by itself. The buyout for Blake Griffin, I think we're still paying for it. Are we not, Chris?
The Blake Griffin buyout is done.
It's done. Thank the Lord. But no, he had to tear the whole thing down.
The Lord.
You had to tear the whole damn thing down, which he did. And in the process of it, obviously you get a little bit of luck with the lottery and you land Cade Cunningham. But Killian Hayes, sure, you can poo-poo on that pick if you want to. But again, historically, if you go through like the top 15 picks outside of the number 1 overall pick, you find some duds in there for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And in the Woodward Sports chat, DNC Entertainment says he got rid of the corpses of Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond and turned it into the youngest team in the league.
Dare I say Derrick Rose too?
And that's what I'm saying. You know, some people complain about fits with this Detroit Pistons team and how it's not a great fit and how they don't like the fit of these things. But the GMs before Troy Weaver built the fits of Andre Drummond, Greg Monroe, and Josh Smith. Great fit there. And Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose, and Andre Drummond. Great fit. Let's get 3 guys who are overhyped, out of their prime, and we're making a first-round playoff run. I love Troy Weaver, man, and what he did, like you guys said, he had to tear apart this team, root and stem, and start over from the beginning. This guy, Troy Weaver, he's trying to issue in a new era of Detroit basketball, back when they were winning championships, back when they had elite guard play, back when they were playing physical, tough defense. And obviously it's not there yet because it takes some time when you're starting from the literal bottom. When even just last year, you had Trey Lyles starting games at center for you. You had Corey Joseph playing the second most minutes on your team. Like, this is something that is going to take some time, and Troy Weaver is doing it. He's accelerating it by getting pieces like a Bojan Bogdanovic, like an Alec Burks, to when, if they are ready to go, those are valuable pieces, veteran shooters you can have. If they're not ready to go, they think it needs some more time, they are hot commodities at the trade deadline. So he knows what he's doing. Troy Weaver is becoming the Steve Yzerman of the NBA, where if you pick up the phone and see it's Troy Weaver calling you, you're about to get fleeced. Look what they did, and they stole Jalen Duren, who is one of the top 6 rookies so far this year, and they got him at what was it, 12 or 13? And it's just amazing to me to see how this man has built this team, how he continues to build this team. He did get some luck, obviously, which Detroit teams don't, in winning that lottery, landing the number 1 overall pick, and getting a generational talent in Cade Cunningham. But what he's done to assemble different picks, turn kind of, pieces like Kelly Olynyk and Saban Lee into a Jalen Duren, into a Bojan Bogdanovic. It's just amazing to me.
That's it. Name the bad Troy Weaver move. Yeah. Name the bad signing. Name
the only one that some people try to point to is the Bruce Brown situation. But I don't even think he's a Killian Hayes, if you will.
Solid role player. Yeah.
He was.
You don't need solid role players when you're rebuilding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
110%.
Maybe you could have gotten more for him, but ultimately, not a bad trade. Wasn't on the same timeline. Ultimately, he hasn't made any bad moves. So what is there to complain about? Yes, I get it that the team hasn't won a lot, but again, you had to tear this thing down to the literal studs. It was so bad in the beginning, guys. Do you remember that Troy Weaver gave Jahlil Okafor a chance to play in the NBA?
Yeah.
That is how bad it was. He's giving Kevin Knox now a chance to play.
Chill on the GOAT.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be the last on the Kevin Knox train. I just want you to know that.
Chill on the GOAT, Kevin Knox.
No, yeah.
Kevin Knox is the greatest basketball player to ever put on a Pistons jersey.
It's opposite day for Smitty, clearly.
And it's facts. Kevin Knox is the GOAT. He's the guy from Fortnite.
We have a graphic in there, Chris, from last night's game, exactly. Actually, if you want to pull that one up. This is why you love a Troy Weaver. All right, this is the 5th overall pick.
Also one of the sickest pictures ever.
I had to use this one.
Yeah,
I had to use this one.
I wish I could credit who this was, because whoever took that picture, incredible.
Because Jalen Duren was, what, the 13th pick? Or the 12th?
13th pick.
13th pick. So what that 13th pick originally was I believe, like a 2024 Milwaukee first-round pick that he got in exchange for Jeremy Grant. Like, he turned to the 13th pick to, like, the best big man in the draft, question mark? I mean, it's so far, right?
Which... Another thing, looking back, though, you could kind of argue that on face value, for how good Jeremy Grant is playing in Portland, you could have gotten more. But the reason Troy took only that is because he had the New York deal in place.
He already had the bullet in the gun.
To get 10
steps ahead.
Exactly. Literally 10 steps ahead. before any of that stuff went down.
Yeah, he knows what's going on.
Dude's nasty.
He knows
this
he's
is why
going
you
to
love Troy Weaver.
fleece some of the best ownership, or the worst ownership and front office situations in the history of sport in the New York Knicks. James Dolan, you suck. I hate you. That's tale for a different time.
That's your side bait.
You can't even say Kelly Olynyk's signing was bad.
You can't.
You can't even say that was bad.
He was put in a bad situation.
That brought you Bojan.
Yeah.
And if I may, too, like, the reason why you love a Troy Weaver, this is Detroit, guys. Yeah, we may be like a storied franchise, but you're not having free agents like, oh, I love the weather in Detroit. Oh, I love the Detroit market, all the money that's out there to make. No. Like, you need the guy who draft like Troy Weaver to build your franchise up.
And this is something that Troy Weaver, I know, saw in Jalen Duren. Aaron S. in the Woodward Sports chat says, get Duren more touches on offense. Dude has a mid-range jumper. He has a lot of untapped offensive potential.
Yes.
And that I talked about it every time. His first minutes in a Pistons uniform in his first summer league game, what I was freaking out and going crazy about was a missed mid-range jumper. He hit a turnaround from 16 feet that just looked clean,
the cleanest
looked fluid, and it just missed. I was like, oh my God. Like, this guy doesn't have a hiccup jump shot. He's not doing, like, it looked good. So it's the way Troy Weaver sees these guys, like getting guys late in drafts, like Livers and like Duren, or like Stu and like Sadiq, like not highly touted, not top 10 picks. Once you get outside of like the top 10 in the NBA, you're looking at it's who knows more than other people, and Troy Weaver knows more than most. So it's awesome that the Pistons inked him to a longer deal. I'm very happy, and I hope he's the GM of the Detroit Pistons for a very long time. But if Troy Weaver gets hungry, he wants to grill himself up a nice steak, he can just hit up the Butchery, because the official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network is the Butchery. You can call 248-682-2697. Yes, 248-682-COWS, or move on over and order online at thebutcherysl.com. Shipping included for Woodward Sports customers. The Butchery, meats, eats, and treats. Sandwiches to die for, Wagyu meats, and artisan breads inspired by the legend Chef Dave. Only the best of the best for our meat-loving customers. An old-school butcher shop from a new-school perspective. Shout out to Chef Dave and the birth of his youngest child. Hopefully the fam is happy and healthy. You know the guy knows how to use his meat, so go buy some at thebutcherysl.com.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward and Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our Lumberjack, Blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been, I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com. And now it's time to tell y'all about the Monroe Street Minute. The Monroe Street Midway has swapped out roller skating, basketball, and mini golf for a giant Arctic slide, winter bumper cars, an indoor arcade, and puck putt. Puck putt.
Putt putt.
Puck putt.
Punt.
Puck.
Fishy.
Putt. Yes. And with free entry to the site, enjoy a variety of new activities aimed at creating an exceptional winter experience for everyone. Get to the Midway this winter to enjoy Santa sightings and tasty treats and make magical memories during the most wonderful time of the year. And that Arctic slide is 20 feet high, 80 feet long, and brought to you by Come Play Detroit. And don't forget the foods they got out there. They've got burgers, pierogies, homemade chili, chicken sandwiches, and mac and cheese bites. So make sure you get down to the Monroe Street Midway to get some of that holiday cheer.
You know what?
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I am Spencer Raxter. He is Interruption Easy. We have Wiener Soup Chris Platty in the TD booth, and JB Smooth finally has his cam back on.
Does he?
I'll get to him. I just gotta show my punishment. I gotta be fair.
Yep. Me and JB decided to match today. We're both wearing the hoodie.
That's so cute. So cute.
No, Chris, that's where you.
Yeah, I got
that's
you.
All right.
I got you.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Your cousin.
Terrible.
That was me.
I'm just kidding. Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you for joining us. We just got done breaking down Troy Weaver and what it means that he was extended by the Detroit Pistons. A lot of Pistons. Whole hour of Pistons. We haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah.
Let's give the people what they want.
Hey, by the way, too, at some point, are you cool to open up the lines?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have the I mean, we call, and I guess if you want to, about the Ivey stuff. I've already told you guys they have every opportunity to prove me wrong. I can't tell you what Ivey's going to shoot for the rest of his career. He's already kind of proved me wrong in that sense a little bit. But to the Troy Weaver stuff, I am curious to hear the arguments on, like, the people are upset about that. But, so let's talk some football, though.
Let's talk some football. I'm excited because the Lions, obviously, they control their own destiny. If they win out, they have a 96% chance of getting in the playoffs and forcing me to get a tattoo on my thigh. But this is a big game in front of them. Obviously, these are all big games remaining. They're going up against the Carolina Panthers, who've been playing some good ball lately. They have a good defense. It's not as good as the Jets, but it's pretty close. It's still a very good defense. They cause a lot of havoc. They have players such as Brian Burns, Derek Brown, Shaq Thompson, J.C. Horn, and we've seen Shaq Thompson kind of wreck some games. We've seen Brian Burns wreck some games this year. We've seen Derek Brown destroy some things up the middle, and J.C. Horn is one of the top cornerbacks in the league. He's one of the elite cornerbacks in the league. Jared Goff compared him to Sauce Gardner earlier today. They're talking about, is it kind of similar with what you saw in Sauce Gardner last week? He's like, yeah, they're both very elite players out there. Do you think that a lot of Lions fans are overlooking the Carolina Panthers and like, all right, we just got to beat the Packers. We're not worried about the Panthers or the Bears. But Carolina, they're no slouches over there.
No, I mean, as we know, this is the NFL, right? Any given Sunday, anything can happen. We've seen it multiple times this season. We've even seen it while we're watching our draft pick with the LA Rams, the situation against the Raiders. Like, that was very, very frustrating to watch. But, we shouldn't. Put it to you this way. Think about the last times we overthought a couple of these guys. The Panthers team, first and foremost, 2018, I think a lot of the Detroit Lions fans overlooked that team. Ended up getting our asses whooped 0-20 by P.J. Walker. P.J. Walker was the quarterback of that game. And by the way,
you didn't have to remind me about that.
Matthew Stafford was healthy for that one.
Yes, he was.
Only had 178 yards in that game. They traditionally, even when Cam Newton and them went to the Super Bowl, they've had a good defense. Let's talk about another guy we could overlook in this situation that the Detroit Lions have overlooked in the past. Sam Darnold. New York Jets, rookie year, Monday Night Football. Whooped the brakes out the Detroit Lions. Very embarrassing. I don't think we should overlook this team. I was very confused in the offseason when they picked up Baker Mayfield because I thought they had, I'm not going to tell you success with Sam Darnold, but something that resembles success with Sam Darnold. Like, when healthy, when the team was healthy, like, they looked good at times. At a certain point last year, he led the league in rushing touchdowns as a quarterback. Like, he could scramble a little bit. On this year, obviously, only had those 3 starts with no turnovers, 1 touchdown in each of them. But I don't think this is a team that Detroit Lions fans should be taking lightly, especially because the defense is one made of guys that could make plays. And as we know, watching the Detroit Lions win streak as of late, turnovers is one of the biggest factors in winning football games, and they're capable of doing it.
And I see this in the Woodward Sports chat. Let me find it again. Southpaw Slabs in the WoodwardSports.com chat says they are not a good football team, but they are a football team that can beat anyone. Can't underestimate them. I don't like hearing that. I don't like hearing they're not a good football team. Obviously, we had Brandon Katz in the BDE chat talking about the Lions haven't beaten any good football team. The Lions were 1-6 at one point this year, so they weren't a great football team either. They have been beating teams that are in the playoff hunt all year. This Carolina team is in the hunt to win their own division still this year. So it's not like they're a bad football team, and it's not like the Lions are a great football team. I'd say they're pretty close to being very similar teams. It's not. I think we're kind of swept up in the fact that the Lions have been playing so well in the past 7 weeks that they're one of the best teams in the NFL. No, they're fighting for a playoff spot. They're playing great football, but they're not this great, perfect team that can just say, oh, this team isn't good that we're looking at this week. Carolina it's tied for second in their division right now. And it is a three-way tie for second, but they're still tied for second, so they're playing for something. They're playing to win. It's not like they're just going to go out there and lay down, and it's not like this Detroit Lions team is so astronomically better than them that you can say they're a bad team. That's what I don't get. It's saying, oh, they're bad teams. All you did, the Brandon Katz thing, obviously everybody knows he's crazy. He's saying all they do is beat bad teams. They are beating teams that are in the midst of a playoff hunt just like they are. They are beating teams that are on the same footing as them. You look at, probably the best teams they've beaten all year are the Minnesota Vikings, but you're looking at the Jags, the Giants, the Jets, now the Panthers, and then the Packers at the end of the year. These are teams that are right around where the Lions are, that are right around in the same level of the NFL landscape as the Lions. So I don't want to even say that. I think saying they're a bad football team is overlooking them.
Yeah, I mean, the record-wise, they're a bad football team. I mean, look,
they're 5-8. That's not bad. Like,
it's bad. It's not good.
It's not good, but it's not bad. They're 5-8. It's like it's not that far off from the Lions.
2 wins, 3 losses.
The Lions are 7-7. The Panthers are 5-8. That's not a drastic difference. The Lions aren't this much better than the lowly Panthers. Like, that's. I think everybody's getting too caught up in it. Like, oh, it's like we're 10-5 or anything. Like, no, it's like they're still fighting for this team. Other teams are fighting for the exact same thing the Lions are, and the Panthers are one of them. They're fighting to win their division. They still have a very real possibility of doing that this year. So I think that is overlooking them in itself. Is saying they have a bad record. They've won 5 games so far this year. It's only 2 less than the Lions.
I don't think anybody should be overlooking the Carolina Panthers. That definitely isn't the case. I have no problem with anybody wants to call them a bad football team.
5-9, sorry.
They haven't really beat anybody. They beat the Seahawks that beat us. I mean, you could point that out, but like they have been all over the place. They have no solution at quarterback. They started the season with Baker Mayfield. Then at some point it's P.J. Walker. Now it's Sam Darnold. Like, they fired their coach midseason. Like, it's a lot of chaos going on over there. They've traded Christian McCaffrey. Like, it's a bad football team. I have no issue with saying that, but like in terms of overlooking it, hell no, I'm not going to do that. They're fully capable of beating this Detroit Lions team, just as almost any NFL team is capable of beating anybody on a given Sunday. I already made that point already, but like this team specifically because of pieces that you mentioned on defense. Now, throughout the entire year, they aren't the greatest numbers on defense, and I actually wrote them down here. The Carolina Panthers defense, they're 15th in scoring, 14th in passing, which is actually, they're on the upper echelon of the passing. And obviously, you said J.C. Horn, that pretty good pass rush. And then against the run, they're 22nd. So hopefully, obviously, Detroit Lions, we had that later on the show too. Ben Johnson saying they're in a funk in terms of like running the football. Hopefully, the Lions, this is a game where they can get that going, resource and confidence in that part of their offense. But J.B. Smooth, do you think Detroit Lions fans are overlooking the Carolina Panthers?
I don't think we are, but at the same time, I can see that this game has trap game written all over it. As Spencer was saying, they're still going out there competing. Like, they're still trying to knock off the Bucs in their division right now in the NFC South. Like, they're not just going to roll over and give you this W no matter what. At the beginning of the season, you've seen some slight changes that helped improve them a little bit. I mean, halfway through the season, you thought that they were just, selling off their players left and right after they traded Christian McCaffrey. You just thought that they were just going to be done for the season, but now it kind of seems like getting rid of Baker Mayfield and, Ja Rule, their head coach, leaving, and them starting Sam Darnold again. It's like, they might have a little bit of resurgence, a little bit of life in them. The Lions cannot look past this team, because even though our record looks better and on paper Carolina looks terrible, they can still go out there and put up numbers.
Real quick, as a comment, the Woodward Sports Chat I want to get to Steve Lehman. Suspense, easy. You guys honestly think that Campbell, Glenn, and Shep and Johnson are honestly letting these guys overlook the Panthers?
No, that's not what this
topic
topic is.
Yeah, no.
This is not
I
the
don't think that's the case
it
at
was
all.
Detroit Lions fans.
Yes.
Or Detroit Lions fans.
Yes.
Fans.
I feel like a lot of fans have already stamped the Detroit Lions ticket into the playoffs, and it's just not the case.
No, you still got this team. We spoke to them last night. They're not. They know they came from the gutter. They came from 1-6.
Yes.
They're taking it 1 week at a time. I guarantee everything wholeheartedly that the team is not overlooking the Carolina Panthers. They were in very similar situations at the beginning of the year where it looked like it was over, and then they clawed their way back into playoff contention. Very similar to what the Lions and Panthers, their seasons have gone.
Yeah.
It looked at the beginning of the year like, oh, well, this is done. We're done. They even traded their best player.
Only difference, they threw in the towel and we kept fighting.
Yeah, I mean, I
Dan
wouldn't say
Campbell
they
said, I ain't hear
threw
no
in
bell.
the towel yet.
Well, the Panthers kind of threw in the towel a little bit. I mean, they fired the coach. I mean, since firing him, they won 2 games.
Because they're still in playoff contention. So throwing in the towel means quitting. And they didn't quit.
They're not in playoff contention for any doing of themselves. I mean, the division's just absolute ass.
I mean, you need to win games yourself. Yeah, it helps when you're in a terrible division. But
yeah, the division leaders under 500.
Are the Bucs a bad team?
I mean, they're better than the Panthers, yeah.
By 1 game.
NFC South standings. The Bucs are
6-8.
Yeah, 6-8.
And everybody else is 5-9.
Panthers are 5-9.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite a big. not a big difference with Detroit Lions, but that's a bit of a difference.
Yeah, it's a 2-game difference.
2-game difference.
Well, yeah.
It is literally a 2-game difference.
But you gotta mind yourself too. Like they're playing each other. They're cannibalizing each other.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing shit teams. It's a 50-50 toss-up more than like the Detroit Lions, who have the toughest schedule in the league. But nonetheless, you can't look over them. I'm not crediting them. Oh, they're second in the division, like they got a shot.
They do have a shot. How can you not credit that?
Because they're 5-9.
So they do they not have a chance to win their division?
No, they're not going to win.
No, they don't have a chance. No chance at all.
No, they don't.
How? They're 1 game out of first place.
Because they're going against Dan Campbell and the red hot Detroit Lions this Sunday. And after this Saturday, I corrected myself. They'll be obliterated, Saturday. Gone off the earth. They won't exist anymore. They're gonna crawl in the hole. They're gonna cry themselves to sleep because Dan Campbell.
They're better. You said the Bucs are a better team than them, right? They beat the Bucs 21-3 this year.
That's cool.
They lost to teams.
You're trying to say like they're second in the division, like they're like, oh, they're in their ace, they're killing. Like no one's expecting the Carolina Panthers to make the playoffs.
They did lose to the Steelers, but they lost to teams like the Bengals, who are a Super Bowl contender, the 49ers, who are a Super Bowl contender. They lost to the Giants, who are a good team. That was week 2 of the season. They lost to the Browns, who are a good team. Both of those losses were by 2 points. Like, they're not a bad team.
They're a bad team.
All right. Then the Lions are an all right team.
They are an all right team. Yeah, they're 7-7.
Okay, so you don't think the Lions are a good team?
They're an all right team as far as the record goes. Carolina Panthers are a bad team as far as the record goes.
That's fair.
I
don't know. I think bad teams are like...
Carolina's a bad team, bro.
I don't know.
Carolina's a bad team. Just you don't overlook them, but they're not a good team.
I don't think they're a good team, but I don't think they're a bad team. I think they're right middle of the pack.
This is a pointless argument. Tell us about SMA.
It is. No, they're not a bad team, but they're not a good team either. SMA, or the Sports Marketing Agency, helps spread the awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com and get the help you deserve.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Christmas, the most wonderful time of the year. Sleigh bells ring and caroling, songs of love and cheer. Lights shine over me and you, walking down Woodward Avenue.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and a safe and happy New Year from the Feldman Automotive family.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Downtown Detroit is all decked out this holiday season with the return of the Cadillac Lodge in Monroe Street Midway. The Midway has a giant slide, winter bumper cars, and an indoor arcade, plus you grab drinks before and after the games at the Lodge. Shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long with deckedoutdetroit.com.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Panthers show. I am Spencer Raxter. He is Speak Easy. We are live on woodwardsports.com. We've got Lizzie Chris in the TD booth and JB Smooth on the ones and twos. We just got done talking about our Detroit Lions fans overlooking the Carolina Panthers. Now, let's talk a little bit about Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson said he was not happy with the performance of the run game last week against the New York Jets, who had DeAndre Swift getting 52 yards on 8 carries. That's about 6.5 per carry. And then Jamal Williams having 33 yards on 13 carries, which is about 2.5. People got mad at us when we said that the running game was struggling. People said we were idiots when we said the running game was struggling. But Ben Johnson said it himself. Oh, yeah. And if you look over the numbers, they have been struggling in the past few games. They have been struggling to produce some yardage on the ground. Is this something that is concerning to you? Is this a deeper rooted problem, or do you think it's an easy fix? Because they did get Craig Reynolds back.
Oh, that's a great point you just made there. Mm-hmm. I probably would have said something totally different if you hadn't mentioned that. They did activate his 21-day window, I think, right before the game last week. But no, I think it's somewhat fixable though. Like we had our group chat, as we do during the games, bitching at each other. Oh, they should have did this, they should have did that. Well, the past Sunday, the conversation for me, or from my perspective, was like, can we stop giving the football to Jamal Williams at 1st and 10? Like these long down situations, like it's not his specialty. It's not what he's known for. That's why when you and Flannel Sam were trying to like raise him like way and above my guy DeAndre Swift, I was like upset about it because I'm like,
I never did that.
You guys are being mad disrespectful to my guy DeAndre Swift.
Wasn't healthy. That was my gripe.
You said Jamal Williams is better than DeAndre Swift
at the point because he was healthy. Yes, and if DeAndre Swift wasn't healthy and out there running the ball, that probably wasn't good. But when he's fully healthy, he is a better back. Sam Flannel said when he was healthy, he was going to lead the league in rushing yards.
And then you guys switched the tune real quick.
Because he was injured.
Both of you. It was 2v1 telling me that Jamal Williams is better than DeAndre Swift.
Then an injured DeAndre Swift, yes.
And the perfect example of it was this past Sunday. Giving the balls the 1st and 10. Like, he's just not that type of running back.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to discredit him and what he contributes to this team. But I think in all situations, I mean, we talked about this with great coaches early in the year with Bill Belichick. And even in terms of like a parallel to basketball with Greg Popovich. Is like you put your players in situations where they're most likely to succeed. Mm-hmm. Like you get Kate Cunningham shooters. not another ball dominant guard. No, I'm kidding. But for Jamal Williams, I want to put him in situations where he's likely to succeed. Those short yardage situations. Yeah. Stop giving the ball to him up the middle at 1st and 10. Because even when he does break the runs, gets through and busts through a hole, it's never for like any more than 17 yards. Because he gets caught. He's just not that type of guy. I want my playmaking backs in that situation. I want Justin Jackson in that situation. I want obviously DeAndre Swift in that situation. I think Craig Reynolds could excel in that situation, and I think that's what it comes down to. And I don't know if the situation with DeAndre Swift, it could be like a limited snap count because of the injury stuff. I don't know, maybe it's not enough respect for Justin Jackson. I mean, he did have a couple fumbles in the offseason. I think he had one during the regular season too, but fortunately enough, the Detroit Lions recovered it. But I want to, if you want to be more efficient in the run game, as you said, what was the average for DeAndre Swift in that game?
6.5 on 8 carries.
And Jamal's was 2?
2.5 on 13 carries.
Like, that's your efficiency problem. That's the conversation we had last week. They're just mad at their efficiency in it. Well, stop giving the ball to a guy who's not efficient in those early downs. Give it to him when he's ready for it. And I get maybe you want to keep the defense on their toes, but, like, what do you keep on their toes? Like, this guy ain't going nowhere anyway.
Yeah.
All due respect.
I agree with you. When DeAndre Swift is healthy, he's shown that he can be an explosive back. Like at the beginning of the season when he was 100% healthy and he was making these big gash plays in the running game, it was great to see. But in the middle of the season, through a while, he obviously got injured, was dealing with injuries, and didn't look the same when he got back. Over these past couple games, it's looked like he has been there. It's looked like he has been healthy. It's looked like he has been the DeAndre Swift of old. So that's what you like to see.
We've been making money off it too.
Yeah,
with those overs.
Facts. The overs damn near every week. If it's going to be set at like 22 yards, you better hit that shit.
Disrespectful.
But that's what he is. He's an explosive player, so when healthy, you want to see him getting the carries, but every time you give him that sustained amount of carries, that workload bump, he gets injured and you lose him. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. You want him to carry the ball more because he can be that explosive player and make those gash plays. But every single time in his career when he's been given those opportunities to be a running back one, to be the guy getting a lot of carries in the game, he's got injured and missed time. So I understand why they're giving Jamal the bulk of the carries. And I understand where you're coming from as well, why you don't want to see that, because DeAndre Swift is the more explosive player.
Yes.
But every time he's been introduced to that kind of workload, he's gone down and missed games.
That's fair. And to the point, and I made this point last week too, but for the Detroit Lions, on the season, they're averaging 4.5 yards per carry. That's because they're explosive, more specifically in the first game. Actually, the first 2 games, DeAndre Swift healthy in those situations. Since then, in the last 6 games, they're averaging under 4 yards per carry. Not good. Not efficient. And again, if it's not Swift, I mean, let Jackson see the field, I'm kind of concerned with Craig Reynolds. I like Craig Reynolds. I'm kind of concerned with Craig coming back that we're going to see less of Justin Jackson, because I feel like Justin Jackson's been very resourceful in that
Justin
third
Jackson's
back role.
Been solid all year, man.
He really has, man. He really, really has, and I feel like he's earned that in a way. And I'm not trying to discredit Craig Reynolds and what he may be able to do, but if I'm being real, but I think Justin catches the ball better too. You know what I'm saying? Out of the backfield or even screenplays. Justin had his first touchdown of the season a couple weeks back, big block by J-Mo. This is a game where it's looking like the Detroit Lions can get back on track though for the run game. And I don't know. Do you think they can do it?
I think they can, but I don't want to see DeAndre Swift getting 15 plus carries if he can't handle it.
You know what's crazy too?
I'd love to see it happen because, like I said, he is explosive. He can be that guy, but I'd rather him be healthy for the playoffs.
How I bitched about the advanced analytics earlier in the week. So the ESPN ones are the more specific that I was bitching to, because they're the ones I was just scratching my head. Pass blocking unit 17, and then run blocking was top 10. I mean, it's not on the run blockers though, so maybe I'll still give them.
That's fair, but still, I'd like to see some more. See some Craig out there. What you talking about, Craig?
Talking about Craig?
I'd love to see him out there because he can be that guy that can break off some plays and can do some things to help switch up when maybe Swift is a little banged up or Jamal's not getting the job done. JB, what are your thoughts on the matter? Do you want to see some more Swift, or are you worried about he's going to get injured? What are you feeling about the running game?
I mean, I would like to, but then again, as you said, I don't want to have this guy banged up in the playoffs when you really need him the most.
Facts.
So if the case is just to get him out there, get a couple runs in here, maybe 8 to 10 carries, if anything, and then the rest of the boatload, hand it off to either Jamal or Justin Jackson, then you just have to do what you have to do. I mean, you just have to, I guess, keep him safe for the long run for the overall team improvement, you know?
Yeah, I agree. He can be like that. You know, I hate to say it, but like gadget guy, obviously not to that extent. He's not like a Cordell Patterson or a Percy Harvin type guy who comes out there for 5 plays.
I hate to say it.
What?
Theo Riddick.
Theo Riddick was literally exclusively pass catching. Yeah. He led the league in pass catches of a running back for like 3 years. But that you got to pick and choose your spots to use DeAndre Swift because you don't want him to wear down, but you do love the explosiveness that he brings to the game. And where you don't have to pick and choose is in the haircut game because there's only one choice, and that's Lady Jane's. Because you can come into Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment on your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary, because at Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Michael Phillips' top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes Mike the number one option for anyone. If you have real estate needs, call Michael Phillips at 313-403-0011. That's 313-403-0011. Michael Phillips, game on. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. I am Spencer Raxter. He is Speak Easy. We've got Wiener Boy Chris in the Woodward TD booth. We've got JB Smooth on the ones and twos. We just got done talking about the Lions running game situation, and I do want to play this Ben Johnson audio. I really want to get to it because it opened my eyes a little bit, and it warmed my heart to see this man this happy. So, Chris, throw that up real quick.
Put it up.
How about that offensive line, huh? These guys are playing their tails off, and as we know, this game, particularly this part of the year, guys get dinged up, and shoot, man, we're fortunate to have a bunch of really tough guys up front. So it's really a security blanket for me right now in terms of being able to call this game and not have to worry about them being able to function and do their job. So just want to give them a shout out as we get started here today. They've done a great job. Our tackles are as good as it gets in this business. Frank's playing out of his mind at center right now, and then our guards are playing really solid football as well. So makes my life a lot easier.
Dude, that is just, it's so heartwarming. Dude looks like a kid on Christmas Day talking about that offensive line. You see his face light up. You see that giant smile. It's hard not to get that excited. It's hard not to get that excited when you're looking at that offensive line and what they've been doing throughout the course of this year. Obviously, they haven't been healthy. The whole thing going into this year was the Lions will have a top 5 unit if they all stay healthy and can play together. They have not. Obviously, Big V hasn't been there all year. You've had, Jonah Jackson has been in and out. Frank Ragnow's missed a game. And you look at what they've been doing. It's been so impressive. Obviously, probably the best tackle combination in the NFL. Like, pound for pound, both tackles line. Obviously, there are better tackles. Like Lane Johnson is a great tackle.
Yeah, Eagles got a pair over there.
I don't know who their right tackle is.
I can't think of his name, but I know he's a dog.
Obviously, what's his name in San Francisco?
Oh man,
fantastic left tackle. But pound for pound, those Decker and Sewell, like they are studs.
Trent
Williams. Trent Williams, probably the best tackle in football. And then you look at Frank Ragnow, and he is a top 2 center in the NFL. Top 3, I would say. It'd be like Creed Humphrey, Jason Kelsey, and Frank Ragnow. And these guys are just monsters up front. And that's, I feel like, what has been a little frustrating to the Lions fans is we have this great offensive line, but the running game has been a little stagnant over the past couple weeks. What about this offensive line? Can they help? Is it them? Is it different things? Or just what is your overall thought process when you're looking at this offensive line throughout the season?
They're top 3. I mean, they're one of the better offensive lines in the entire league. They're one of the reasons that Jared Goff and Ben Johnson be able to do what they do week by week and drop these crazy plays. I mean, this dude has all day back there to throw. That's why I don't understand. Like some of these other content creators go on there and they try to discredit the Detroit Lions offensive line and try to shoulder all the credit. And maybe this isn't a fair example because that's not like a logical thinking, right? I don't expect everybody to fall like within that, but like. That's a ridiculous statement to make because even your Ben Johnson, your offensive coordinator, the one that we all praise for kind of like reviving Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions offense just in general from what it was last year, didn't even get asked a single question. This is the very beginning of the press conference. Play the video one more time. Just the intro. Very first thing I said.
Look at how happy he is.
Dude, so happy.
So happy.
How about that offensive line, huh? These guys are playing their tails off.
That's right there. And then at the very end of it, he says, they make my job a lot easier. And you're damn right they do. And guess what? Jared Goff will tell you the same exact thing, too.
Facts.
Make my job a lot easier,
That's why he spent more money on them than he did his fiancé.
Literally. And he was public with that information. Let me tell you something. Anybody that don't have a girl right now, if you go public about spending more money on your boy than your girl, you're in trouble, my guy. That's not the move to make. Facts. Now, by the numbers, it makes sense that might be the case because there's like, 5 of those guys and only one of her. But like, she still don't want to hear it.
She does not.
These women are ridiculous. It don't matter how much sense the situation makes. They want to be your number one priority.
Facts.
Listen, the offensive line, and we said this, 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, and people wanted us to Goff. The offensive line deserves that. And that's why Ben Johnson did that. That was him doing the to the offensive line. They make my job easier. Jared Goff had an interview today, too. Said the same exact thing, too. Like, they make my job easier. It's still on me in certain scenarios where I have to step up and make throws and be mobile. And you saw that in the TJ Lane breakdown that he had of a sack he took against, I think it was the Cowboys game that day. Yeah, because Jamal Williams, they're trying to poo-poo on him. But, I mean, Micah Parsons is a dog either way. We've got to give that man some credit, too. But
for sure.
This offensive line is a big reason this Ben Johnson is able to do what he does. He can look at the game-winning play last week. Again, watch it on replay. Count the full 3 seconds for Jared Goff read the entire field. Yeah. He started the play side of the field. There's 3 receivers over there. Looked 1, 2, 3. Wide open, touchdown. But the offensive line afforded him that time to be able to do that. Give this offensive line, give the heavyweights some credit.
They need their flowers. They do. You look at how they've kept that man upright. We talked about it. He's only been sacked 4 times in his past 6 games. Like the man has been a complete monster. Just I'm just so in love with how they play together. Because, again, offensive line, like they, pound for pound, I put them up against anybody. As you look at the Eagles, they're definitely up there. The Packers have a great offensive line. San Francisco has a great offensive line. But, man, this Lions, how aggressive they are at the point of attack, the way they keep their quarterback alive and upright is extremely impressive, and it means leaps and bounds for the Lions offense, because they wouldn't be able to get through all these options and different plays if they didn't have that capability to keep him upright. They wouldn't be able to run this complex run blocking scheme if they didn't have great minds in there. And shout out to Hank Fraley too, because he's obviously a big part of that, of making sure these guys are ready to go and excited for every matchup and have the confidence to run these kind of intricate blocking schemes that a lot of people wouldn't be able to do. So
that part of it too, yeah.
Yeah, JB, how you feeling about this offensive line this year? What do you got to say?
Quite impressive. Yeah. I mean, I know I gave you guys a stat earlier this week, but I mean, come on, Jared Goff hasn't had an interception in 6 games?
6 games.
And that's because he gets time to sit back there, allow time to go through his progressions, as Eazy said, find that open receiver. Hasn't been sacked in back-to-back games at all this season. It's like, come on, they have kept this guy's jerseys clean the entire time. You got to give these guys their flowers, man.
And
come on.
Sugar, we're not going down swinging because Jared Goff's standing upright in that pocket. It's amazing, dude.
One of the knocks on him that people could have this knock on him, and I don't really consider it one. They're like, oh, he's bad against pressure, which come on, guys, majority of quarterbacks are kind of. The numbers go down when you got some pressure on you.
For sure.
Well, he hasn't been in that scenario. I mean, we've always constantly considered him like a one-read guy because he kind of freaks out in these type of situations. Flings to whoever he has to first. But with his offensive line, like as JB said, as we've all said, this entire segment, he's got the time to go through his progressions. Now he doesn't have the time to go through his progressions, but he's fairly comfortable with these progressions because Ben Johnson, your offensive coordinator, had the respect of him as a veteran quarterback in this league. That's something Jared Goff has spoke about publicly too. Is I feel like I'm getting the respect I deserve as a veteran quarterback in this league, because he is that. You heard the rumors and stuff like that from Sean McVay, babysitting, holding his hand. That was it was a knock on Jared Goff, and he's been revived because Ben Johnson had the wherewithal, or I guess the respect to show him, to get back to him, to reciprocate that, and allow him to build this offense. So not only does he have the time to make these reads, he's fully aware of each read to make, because he tailored the offense alongside the offensive coordinator.
For sure. And they're going up against another tough test. Obviously, the Jets were a tough test, a great defensive line, missing the best piece, one of the best, probably the best interior defensive lineman in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
It's got him or Chris Jones.
And give him credit for being
Williams.
Tough, too, because I apologize for interrupting you, but
no, you're good. Interruption easy.
I don't know if you saw the article came out. Taylor Decker has been playing with appendicitis.
Yeah.
Frank Ragnow's been in a walking boot. Outside of practice in games. And
Penei Sewell is just an Iron Man, dude.
Yeah, he had an ankle situation, too. Yeah. Who is it?
I love Penei Sewell, dude. That's going to be the next Lions jersey I buy is Penei Sewell.
I was thinking that, too. Honestly,
because he's cool, man. He talks his shit. He's a heavy, and the aggressiveness, man. I love the aggressiveness. We saw it from his first getting in faces with Aaron Donald, the most feared player in the NFL at that point. Getting in his face, not backing down. You see when he caught that first down, he gets up, he slapped the shit out of the Vikings defender. This guy he's something else, man. I'm a big Penei Sewell guy. Not Neil Rule, since the beginning of the year, has been saying, just get the gold jacket fitted already.
Yeah.
For Penei Sewell. And it's honestly looking like that. This guy, as long as nothing catastrophic happens, this guy looks like he's going to have a very long and very successful NFL career.
110%. And hey, the boys, I saw a couple comments in Uber Sports chat. They go out there and grab Jalen Carter, the best of both worlds. No Hannah Montana.
Facts, dude. If the Lions get Jalen Carter, I will be so happy. Jalen Carter and Penei Sewell are they have the same aggressiveness, just at different positions, and they're pretty similar sizes too. I love it, man. I need Jalen Carter on this Lions team. I do. Just like we need some more toys in this studio for the kids. Because the Heavies love the kids.
100%, guys. You know what it is. All right, this is the third year we're doing this. If you're a big fan of Woodward Sports, we know you do this. You know we do this every single year. Third year in a row of Stuff a Studio where we give back to the kids at Mott's Children's Hospital of Ann Arbor, all the way up until the 23rd. Come through, bring unwrapped toys, give back to the community, give back to the kids, and bring them some warmth for the holiday season. Again, we're here from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Jeez, that'd be a long time. That'd be a little while.
Sounds like my shift.
Yeah, it does sound like your shift. From 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I'm going to have to talk Jeff Iafredi, one of these boys, bringing up the PS4 or PS5. Maybe Chris will do it. I'm going to. You guys know how stubborn and ignorant I am. Chris whooped me up in 2K. I have no issue with sitting here and telling you guys that Chris beat me in 2K. So if you guys want to be
the chemistry with Marvin Bagley,
and that's coming off of being the king of 2K, previously from last year's Stuff Studio. So if you guys want to come test the King Chris, King Seuss.
Wait, when did you guys run 2K?
It was a while back.
Yeah, pulled up to the crib.
Yeah, pulled up. I wanted that smoke.
Man.
I told him to invite you, and he was like, I don't know if he likes you like
we
that.
really are just best work friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the commercial crew. Stuff Studio.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
The official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network is The Butchery. Call 248-682-2697. Yes, 248-682-COWS. Or move on over and order online at thebutcherysl.com. Shipping included for Woodward Sports customers. The Butchery, meats, eats, and treats. Sandwiches to die for. Wagyu meats and artisan breads inspired by the legend Chef Dave. Only the best of the best for our meat-loving customers. An old-school butcher shop from a new-school perspective. Again, shout out to Chef Dave for the birth of his youngest child. We hope the fam is happy and healthy. You know the guy knows how to handle his meat, so go buy some at thebutcherysl.com. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. We're getting down to the nitty and gritty. I am Spencer Raxter. He is Speak Easy. We are live on woodwardsports.com with the Wiener Boy, Chris Platty, in the TD booth, and JB Smooth on the ones and twos. Who did say you could take your hood off?
I feel like
This is your one chance you hear this term and you can express it. Throw your hood up, Chris.
No.
Throw your hood up. Put the hood up.
Throw your hood up.
Throw your hood up.
You smile like, oh, you talking to me? That's that Dave Chappelle skit where he's blind.
Yeah.
Tyrone
Biggums.
Yeah, he rolls up to the Wiggers and drops the M-bomb. They're like, he called us in.
Yeah.
That's Chris. Throw my hood up. All right.
And throw some respect on 3-6 Mafia and J. Cole in 95 South, one of the GOAT intros.
Okay,
put your hood on.
3-6 Mafia. You could have just kept it that.
Well, come on, you gotta respect J. Cole.
Is that not a hard intro?
It is.
That is a hard
intro.
It's
a great intro. One of the best ever.
It is amazing intro.
It is, but it was 3-6 Mafias, and then it was sampled.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's what I said. But J. Cole flipped it.
Yeah, but he doesn't deserve the credit for it because it wasn't his. He sampled it.
He flipped it very well.
Aside from that,
just play the song.
Just play the song. We'll get taken down. It's fine. All right, we got a couple.
By the way, you always yell at me when I make topics like spur of the moment.
Yeah.
With the offensive line one just now.
I mean, the Ben Johnson. We had the video in there.
I just gotta give you ish because you always give me ish.
So which one do you want to go to here? You want to go to JB hating or us hating? Because we got a couple hate topics in here.
Let's do the hate. Let's do the
hate.
Because us hating and JB hating can kind of correlate.
Okay.
Because I feel like JB wasn't like giving the Lions that much validation over the win with the Jets. He says it's a little bit fluid.
You got something to say. What do you got to say about this Detroit Lions team?
All I gotta say is like, hey, next time when you go out there on Saturday, don't play so tight to the vest. You know, I know you're out there playing like you have something to lose, but that's not what got you to this point right now to where you're at. On this past Sunday, I seen, them playing a little conservative, a little safe, which is fair. I get it. this is a big time position that you're in right now to actually try and get to the playoffs, and it's like, all right, we just kind of want to do the game script, play the game straight as the way we can, and then that's it. Get the W and then move on to the next one. But play a little bit looser, play a little bit, riskier at times, because now who knows? Next thing you know, Jared Goff might be second guessing throwing that dime in there to Amon-Ra. Kirby Joseph might be second guessing going up for that block to intercept that ball. You never know. Dan Campbell, who knows? He might not call that fourth down this time. You never know.
Okay.
This is where it kind of correlates with our hate a little bit too, because I feel like you had to play that game plan because there is some truth to a narrative that's been casted out there this season as of late. Some people call it hate. The Jared Goff road woes, the Jared Goff cold weather woes. Given this season on the road, and granted that situation against the Jets, it's a top 5 passing defense, you kind of want to play close to the vest against those guys because on the road this year, Jared Goff has been, I don't want to say bad, because that would maybe then sound like hate, but not good.
Not great.
Not good. 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And matter of fact, you could call that bad statistically. I mean, he had the fumbles too against New England, the fumbles against Dallas. Again, road games. Dallas indoor, New England outdoor. Situation in Chicago, we won the game ultimately. There were some spooky moments there where some drop picks and plays were made. Jeff Okudah had his pick 6. We won by 1 point. I think a lot of people forget that too. On the road, outside specifically, just Jared Goff ain't been him, and against that top 5 defense. when I've witnessed that as the offensive coordinator, and I know this defense is out cold, I'm tight to the vest with it.
Yeah, again, I can't say anything bad about Jared Goff in his last performance because he went out there and he did what needed to be done.
Exactly.
He took care of business. He didn't make any plays to lose them the game. And that is a big factor in playing a defense like that on the road in a hostile environment, is you need to make sure you're not making any plays to lose the game. So I don't know. It's you look at this offense and it's there because it is a constant that on the road it hasn't been as good. On the road in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games now, it's a 3 to 4 touchdown to interception ratio. So it's not something that you can just brush aside. But in the beginning of it, it was kind of, they're trying to come back in these games because their defense is letting up so many points, so they have to throw the ball and do different things. But it still hasn't been there. It is a glaring difference between on the road and at home for Jared Goff's stats. You can't say it's not. And again, can't say anything bad about the game against the Jets because that is a top 5 defense. He didn't do anything to lose them the game, but you'd like to see him go out there in one of these road games that they have coming up and just put up one of those performances we saw in this streak. A 350-yard, 3-touchdown performance. You'd like to see that to kind of give you some confidence if you are going into a road playoff game, whether that be against Minnesota or San Francisco or someone like, if you're going to have to go play in one of their houses, it'd be nice to have the confidence to be just like, all right, it was just some fluky things. It's not an actual pattern. But as of right now, it is a pattern. So it is something to give you some, as Sam Flannel would say, cause for pause.
Pause. I'm looking right now at the road games, and that's been it. I mean, on the road, he has just. I didn't want to say bad earlier, but he has been. I mean, the best game on the road he had was against Minnesota, which we know now is like one of the worst passing defenses in the entire league. Now, I can't lie to you, I'm not fully aware of like every type of injury they may have in that secondary because I don't know the ins and outs of that team like I do the Detroit Lions. But 277 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
They've been getting gashed.
Minnesota? Yeah. No, it's been bad. But that was the best game he's had on the road, I think. And the Detroit Lions, if they do stamp that ticket and they're in the playoffs, they're going to be on the road.
Facts.
So I think this is something to keep an eye on. I think the narrative is true given this situation. Again, one piece of information is just like it's just data.
Yeah.
2 pieces, you're forming a pattern at that point, and it's beyond 2 pieces now.
It's about 6.
Yeah.
And you're looking, to JB's point, I agree. They were playing it a little tight to the vest. They were, trying not to make the plays to lose the game. But that's how you have to play sometimes, going against an elite defense like that, on the road, in the cold, with a quarterback who is not a Patrick Mahomes or someone like that can throw you out of anything.
Yeah.
You need to play it safe and execute when they can. And that's exactly what they did. And Jared Goff executed when needed and won the game.
Yeah.
So that it is what it is. But when you're in the road on a hostile environment, sometimes you just play to win, or you play not to lose is what I don't think they were playing not to lose. I think they were trying to go down there and score, but when you have half of the field cut off because Sauce Gardner is over there and you're not targeting him once the entire game, it makes the playbook a little limited. What do you think about that, comparing it to the road?
What do you think about that?
Yeah, how you like them apples?
Hey, that's fair. That's a fair assessment to the whole idea of it. Yes, I wouldn't throw in Sauce Gardner's direction at all, which apparently they did not as well too. So, yeah, that's fair. You know, you got to do what you got to do to win the game, and obviously they went down there and did it. Like, I'm not complaining about the W. I will never complain about the W. It's just, you know, little criticism here and there. You know, it's always room for improvement.
Now, hearing what we've all heard, I'm curious for all you guys' answers on this one. I know they're going to break here soon, but do you think that the game plan, that should be the same game plan going into the situation against Carolina?
Yeah, I think it should be. I think it's
tight to the vest.
Tight to not. Obviously, you should target J.C. Horn a little bit. It's not just completely avoid him, but yeah, I think that's how they should play it, because it's like you said. It's somebody in the chat said it. I missed it. They were like, Carolina's kind of a New York Jets light.
Yeah, I saw that earlier too.
Yeah, I thought that was a good comment, because that is kind of what it is. So,
Chat champ of the day, whoever said that.
Yeah, play it like that. Play it. Don't be taking unnecessary shots. Obviously, you push the ball down the field when it's there, and they did that against the Jets. They just, unfortunately, Jameson Williams got underthrown by about 5 yards. But you just need to take what the defense gives you rather than try to force things.
And again, on the road, turnover prone, heavy. And you look at the win streak for the Detroit Lions, turnovers have been a big factor in that. I think more than any other stat in football, that's the biggest one that contributes to winning or losing games.
Yeah, and Crazy Clown. In the Woodward Sports chat, we don't talk like that. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about 10 to 12 inches of snow and 40-mile-per-hour winds. We're not doing it. So let me tell you about something that you might need to protect yourself during this. What were they calling it? Bomb cyclone? Guardian alarm. Because
what
Guardian alarm, dude, it's scary. We're supposed to
talk about when we come back.
A bomb cyclone. Guardian Alarm will keep you safe and give you peace of mind whether you're at home or on the road with their 24/7 local monitoring. They make sure the things that are important to you stay safe. All you have to do is call 1-800
Stay Out.
That's 1-800
Stay Out
right now, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Custom Health Centers has helped our very own Ryan and Monty lose upwards of 20 pounds. Look at that. This is what Ryan Armani used to look like. And now, that's what he does look like.
Oh my God, he's Ryan Armani!
And it's all thanks to Custom Health. The guy looks like he could be a starting receiver for the New York Jets in that picture. Or maybe the Browns.
Hey, yo.
Or
oh.
maybe the Seahawks.
Thought you were going somewhere else with that Browns comment.
Or maybe the 49ers. I don't know. But he looks great. But in all seriousness, Ryan Armani hit up Custom Health to help them lose weight, and that's exactly what they did. All you got to do is call 844-789-8446. That's 844-789-8446 if you want help from Custom Health getting into your ideal shape. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I am Spencer Raxter. He is the one and only Speak Easy. We got Wiener Suit Chris
Emo Wiener
in the TV
Emo Wiener
and JB Smooth on the ones and twos.
Mustard.
So right before we went to break, we were talking about the bad weather that is coming to the Metro Detroit area.
A bomb cyclone?
They're calling it a bomb cyclone.
What is it? Like, is it coming to us? Is it going to be Carolina?
It's coming to us on Friday is when it's supposed to hit.
In what area?
In the Metro Detroit area.
Not my area.
Like Metro, you live in Metro Detroit.
I don't like that, folk.
Yeah. Folk, these bomb cyclones coming, it's going to turn us
So what is it?
Let me look up the definition of it exactly. Somebody had it on VDE.
Just the term bomb.
It makes everything sound scary. Everybody's like,
yeah.
Is it
a giant blizzard?
Is it a blizzard? Is that, what are we talking about?
Why is it called a bomb?
That's
a terrifying term to use. A bomb. Like, I saw the poll earlier. I thought you guys were talking about ice cream.
A bomb pop. You guys got bomb pop?
Because there's like off-brand blizzards. They're like, yeah, this one's a cyclone. Like, it's like, bitch, that's a blizzard.
That's the most heavyweight shit I've ever heard in my entire life. I thought you guys were talking about blizzards.
I saw a poll when I was driving.
A bomb cyclone is a large, intense
orgasm.
Mid-latitude storm that has low pressure at its center, weather fronts, and an array of associated weather from blizzards to severe thunderstorms and heavy precipitation. So it could be snowing and blizzarding out there and then just get struck by lightning. That's the that's the bomb part of it. You walk out there with your kids, you're like, oh, we're gonna make a snow angel. Boom, dead.
Damn, I was thinking Reese's Pieces of cookie dough. Ice cream.
All I know is
because that's a bomb cyclone, like a good ass off-brand blizzard.
There's a little shop by my house. It's called Dairy Freeze, like 4 Z's, and they got drumstick Arctic. They call them Arctic Freezes. That's their bomb cyclones.
Yeah.
And you get the Arctic Freeze, medium Arctic Freeze, extra drumstick Arctic Freeze, extra drumstick. That boy is slapping. But yeah, I'm kind of scared of the bomb cyclone. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, Dairy Freeze is on point.
Hey,
Dairy Freeze is on point.
I King's ruthless. You see what he said in the chat?
No.
He said bomb cyclone, easy in the staff bathroom.
Oh,
listen,
facts, dude.
I gotta keep
that's
it a buck.
Easy standing over there.
No, that's JB.
Just letting him rip.
Dude, that was 5 minutes before the show.
Dude, it was bad. I came and stood by you afterwards.
I know you did. It followed you.
Wrote it down.
The funniest stuff. So we have like a new employee here, a new CEO, if you will, Gabby Phillips, and she's in here like arranging the toys, and she's in and out, and then I thought she's finally done, so I was like, sweet.
You let one off.
Yeah, let one loose. She's coming back. I was like, oh, JB farted over there. Be careful.
Don't come over here, JB.
JB's in the sound booth like.
And if you guys didn't
even deny it, JB is
JB has short-term memory loss, so he has to write everything down in this little journal. And he wrote down,
full credit for the poop.
Don't fart near the CEO. No.
He looked down, he's like, did I fart? He looked at his notepad.
Yeah. I don't have that in the time log.
That's not in the time log. But yeah, make sure you guys stay safe out there.
Hold on. No,
there's a bomb cyclone coming.
What are the speaking of bomb cyclones, the staff
bathroom.
Sounds
like Sharknado, but like a terrorist movie.
Everybody at Woodward, because it used to be like all guys. We used to poop upstairs.
Oh yeah, yeah, we got kicked out.
Yeah, whose poop was? Like, do you know?
I don't know. All I know is I dropped some bomb cyclones.
That's what I'm saying. Was it you? It's either you, Joey, or Adam.
I never plugged it up. I'll tell you that.
I feel like
I was flushed, and I made sure it flushed.
he's not here to defend himself, but I've heard some stories that Joey be dropping him.
Joey be dropping.
And like he leaves hair as evidence.
I'm not going to lie.
Oh, my. I didn't even think of it that way. That's racist on your part, Fred. No,
Joey be dropping bombs. Chill, bro. You can't say stuff like that.
Because like this is what I remember one time it happened in the downstairs bathroom.
He said, "Who blew up the bathroom? It's got to be either you, Joey, or Adam." Like, come on, bro. Chill, dude.
I'm just saying.
Chill. Is it because I got the bushy beard and long hair? Like,
what happened one time? Someone bombed this bathroom down here, and we were like, "Who was it? Who was it?" And there's hair like all over. It was like. That was Joey Adam for sure. It's one of you.
Cypher 18 said it was Maz.
Well, that's
solid.
But Maz
that's
ain't that hairy though.
Maz, no, not down here, like up there. I don't think there was hair up there. Was there? I think we just got kicked out because the foot traffic. Like, I know I was going up there almost 2 times a day.
What happened?
You know what I'm saying?
What happened is put the camera on Chris.
They saw this guy walk
up. He got caught masturbating in the big bathroom.
Oh, Jesus. All right, that's where we're going to end it. We appreciate you all for joining us on the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com from 5 to 7 Monday through Friday.
Jeff said don't sleep on fish.
The man to my left is the one and only
Fish was caught masturbating in the bathroom.
Got Chris
the 2-hand job
in the TV booth and JP Smooth on the 1s and 2s. We appreciate you for tapping in. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.